Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And it is currently 9:05 a.m. I got up very, very early today. I went to bed last night at like 9:30, and I woke up at like 5:30 this morning and was sitting out here, and I drank some tea. My throat was kind of hurting a little bit, and so I drank some like throat soothing tea, and then and some water, and then I got a cup of coffee. I made some blueberry honey coffee, and I was watching some shows, and then Alex left for work, and I gave Boo Radley his medicine and put him back to bed with some treats, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to come outside, I'm going to start my videos early. It's going to be a beautiful day today, and I'm really excited about it. And in a second, I'm going to read a meditation from one of my personal favorite meditation books, and that is A Time to Be Free, Daily Meditations for Enhancing Self-Esteem. And I actually already read the meditation today, and I thought, okay, this is interesting. I want to read this meditation, and then I want to kind of give you some insight into something that I learned in my life, something that I don't always talk about over here. I mean, I do, but I don't always talk specifically about it, so I want to share that with you. But before I get into that, I want to say something about this channel. I have recently been responding to a lot of comments and a lot of questions that I've gotten on this channel, and I really enjoyed doing that. You know, for 2 to 3 years, I read meditations. I love reading the meditation books. That's not something that I'm going to stop. I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to continue to read the Melody Beatty books. I'm going to continue to read the other meditation books. Listen, I have so many meditation books. I could read one every single day for the rest of my life and never stop this channel. So I'm going to continue to do that. I love the meditation, the daily affirmation books. But I have really enjoyed responding to the comments and giving people suggestions or advice based on personal experience. It's really been, for me, it's been really helpful, because when I make those videos, those are then things that I continue to think about, you know, throughout the day. And it was interesting because yesterday I did a video and he responded to it and on the comment sections, which was really nice. But yesterday I did a video talking about you know, like, kind of like triggers for drinking or using, again, like songs and movies and TV shows and things like that. And then, you know, it was interesting because I had a long conversation with my friend Tanya about it last night, and I was asking her about it, and it was something that I kept on thinking about throughout the day. And so it was, like, for me, like, when I talk about those things, I continue to learn and grow from it as well. And, so I'm really enjoying doing those. You know, when I talk about, like, breakups, or I talk about toxicity and whatever, like, those are lessons that I continue to carry throughout my day and remember, right? And so I'm so grateful for that. I think it's something that I want to make more, and no, I'm not changing the title of this channel or anything like that. I've done that already on this channel. This channel used to be called My So-Called Healthy Life, back when it was supposed to be like a healthy weight loss channel. Yeah, that didn't work out. So anyway, then I changed it to Peterisms, and I've loved it ever since. But I want to start doing more what I would call like Ask Peter videos. And I will tell you, I do get some comments from time to time that I feel like are very personal. If you leave me a comment or a question, listen to nature this morning. It's alive and awake. If you leave me a comment or a question, you ask me for some very specific advice and I don't respond to it, it's not personal, in all honesty. Probably the response is that it is too personal, and I feel like I don't want to, like, somebody asked me the other day about a living situation, and I thought, okay, this is, like, I don't want to give advice in a video based on personal experience that might make somebody, like, you know, make decisions one way or the other just based on things I've experienced in my life. You know what I mean? Like, that could really greatly affect their life. And so, sometimes if I can't, like, generalize the question or the comment, I typically kind of steer clear of it. If I can't, like, make it, like, a personal response to it, whatever, like, based on personal experience, I kind of try to steer clear of that. So it's not personal. It's not like I'm avoiding you or I'm not reading your comment. I want you to know that. It's that I feel like the situation is too personal for me to comment on, and so I don't want to do that. But I am really enjoying doing the responses to the comments and the questions, and I would like to do more of that. So I'm going to kind of do, like, this Ask Peter kind of thing, okay? And If you guys want to continue to leave me questions and comments in the comment section below, but I also want to say this, okay? Because I've gotten a couple emails from people that say, I'm not comfortable sharing this in the comment section, but if you want to read this or you want to reference it, you can. Or can you just talk about this but not read my email? I am totally fine doing that. Feel free to email me. If you don't want your comment to be read, just let me know. If you don't want your email to be read, if you just want to leave it anonymously, or if you want to email me anonymously, and I mean, I don't, you know, unless it's, you know, a hater or somebody like that. I'm not checking email addresses or anything like that on somebody leaving me a question to respond to in a video. So I'm not going to be checking your email address. I'm not going to be looking at or anything like that. You can email me and just put, like, you know, XO, or just sign it, or what. You don't have to sign it or whatever, and just say anonymous. If you want to leave your name and say, hey, like, just please don't read this, just reference it in the video, I have no problem doing that. Because I know that there are a lot of people that have questions out there that they like me to talk about, or situations they like me to talk about, but they don't necessarily feel comfortable commenting on a video with their profile name, and I totally understand that. But I would like to do more of those. I'm really enjoying doing those. And also, you guys kind of like pull things from all different areas that like make me think about, wow, like I haven't thought about that for a while, or wow, that was something I experienced, or yeah, like I went through that, you know, and I hadn't really thought about it. So I'm going to ask you to continue to do that, because I really appreciate that. So we'll just kind of do like these Ask Peter videos where you guys just ask me stuff based on personal experience. I'm really, really loving it, and I'm really enjoying it. And I feel like it's also like a more personalized response to things. And like I said, I'll continue to do the meditation videos. And in fact, in some of those videos, I may read meditations and respond to a question, because I think the meditations and the positive affirmations are really, really helpful for me to read them myself, and also kind of talk about them. Like, they always resonate throughout the day then when I do that. But also, I know that so many of you enjoy them as well. Okay, so that's my first ask. I want to talk about how I'm going to kind of move the channel in that direction. But I also want to read this meditation from this book. And this book is A Time to Be Free, Daily Meditations for Enhancing Self-Esteem. And actually, my dad and my stepmom, they gave it to me. You can see they wrote in it. And it said, "Welcome back, we love you." This is when I got out of treatment. So it has in here the table of contents, and it's all like through different things. The influences that shape us: alienation, guilt, surrender, fear, addiction, coming to believe, attitude, self-image. It goes through all these different things, right? So I'm going to get into August, because I just read this meditation, and it really, sometimes when I read these meditations, like, I think about things that aren't directly related to the meditation or the affirmation. I think about something in complete, you know, opposition to it. So anyway, the meditation says, "My relationship with her had been over for months. She was deeply involved with someone else, but the breakup was still tearing me apart. I couldn't get her out of my mind. I tried, heaven knows I tried, to get over her. I worked hard at stripping away any illusions I might have that we could be back together. I did everything I could to accept things as they were and to stop wishing or pretending that they were different. I reminded myself again and again that I was powerless over her, over the way things had turned out, and even over the way I had been feeling since she left. Yet no matter what I did, I still couldn't let go. In the end, I turned to God. I asked Him in my prayers for the strength to let her go, since that seemed to be His will, or her will, or whatever was will. I asked Him to ease my heartache. I asked Him to help me become open to another way, a better way, His way. Days and weeks went by. Gradually, I was able to release her in the relationship. I couldn't do it all at once, but eventually, with God's help, I was finally able to let go. Thought for today: letting go is an affirmative act of faith. Okay, so no, I'm not going to talk about breakups and relationships. What I'm talking about is finding a sense of a higher power, whether that's the universe, God, whatever you believe in. Okay, and I don't know why this meditation, it was talking about the letting go is I think what it made me think of, is that, you know, I was probably about 2 years sober. I can remember in early sobriety, there's a saying in our basic text that God either is or He isn't. And my sponsor at the time got very frustrated with me because I felt like I had to have this perfect idea of what my higher power was, this perfect image, right? And I got very frustrated because I was like, okay, I have to, before I can like turn my life and my will over to the care of God as I understand Him, which is what the step says, like I have to fully understand what my higher power looks like. And I'll never forget, like my sponsor like threw down the book and was like, God either is or He isn't. What is? I was like, He is, you know. And today I don't even know that like God is a he or a she or an it or a omniscient, what's the word, omniscient soul or whatever. You know, I just, God's just God to me, you know? And I know that that word has such a religious connotation, but God to me is just like this ever-knowing being kind of thing that like laughs at me sometimes, cries for me at other times, and guides me along the way, and puts lessons in my way that I either choose to accept and grow from or not, you know? And that's kind of who God is for me, a very nurturing, kind, gentle soul. That's who God is to me today. And I just use the word God because it's so prevalent and whatever. Like, I mean, if there was some other word that we used, I'd probably use that instead. But I was thinking back on this idea of letting go, and I was thinking about this, Oprah has all these aha moments, and you can probably find this on YouTube somewhere. And if I can find it, I'll link it below, but I'm not really sure how I would even look this up, but maybe I would just put in Oprah letting go. But Oprah did this aha moment where she was talking about how, before she was in the movie The Color Purple, she found out that they were coming out with it, which they're coming out with a musical version with Fantasia in, I think, November. I'm really excited to see it. I've never seen the Broadway show, but I've like wanted to forever. Color Purple is one of my favorite books and movies of life. In fact, on a little side note, I took the GRE to get I was trying to get my MFA in graduate school. That was what I was planning to do before I got my MSW. And so I took the GRE in English, and it's like 400 questions. And I can tell you the only question I knew was like the second to the last question, and it said who was the author of The Color Purple, and I knew it was Alice Walker. I think that was the question, something like that. But anyway, that was like the only question out of 400 that I absolutely knew for a fact. But I love the book and the movie is phenomenal, with Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey, and it's so fantastic, and Danny Glover, and I love that movie so much and learned so much in life about that movie and from that book. But Oprah tells a story about she had auditioned for the movie, and she didn't care. She loved the book so much that she would like literally hand out copies to people, and she wanted to be part of that movie no matter what she had to do. If she was like the script person, if she was like the water person, no matter what, she didn't care. She just wanted to be part of the making of that movie. And so she called her agent, and her agent, she said, like, have you heard anything about, you know, like the casting or whatever, because she was auditioning for the part of Miss Sophia. And her agent said to her, you know, Oprah, there are like real actresses that are auditioning for this role. Like, you're not the only one, right? Like, there are like real legitimate, because like that was like she hadn't done a lot at that point except for the TV show, her talk show. There are like real legitimate actresses that are auditioning for this role that have like huge histories of acting and whatever. Like, you're not the only one, right? So she ended up going to this weight loss camp, and she was walking like on a treadmill or around a track. I can't remember the story exactly, but she started like praying to God. And I remember when I heard this story, it wasn't so much like Oprah's belief in God. It wasn't so much Oprah's practice of letting go or praying to God. It was the fact of surrender and letting go in this story that really propelled me to understand how to use God to make things easier for me in my life, and to lean on God in tough times, and to learn from my higher power, and to be guided by my higher power. And it was really powerful. Did my neighbor just come home? My neighbor just came home. And so Oprah was talking about how she's like walking on this track or this treadmill at this weight loss camp, weight loss place, and her assistant came in the room. Oh, she started saying to God, God, obviously this movie is not for me. This is not what you have planned for me. So whatever you have planned for me next, that's where I'm at with you. I am with you with whatever you have planned for me. And that's like a really powerful thing, right? To like completely let go and say, okay, obviously this journey that I have been on is not what you have meant for me. So, and I have had to say that at many times in my life, where I got so excited about something, I thought something was going to happen for me, and then like nothing happened, right? And I'm like, okay, this is why like when exciting things are like brought to my attention, I'm like, oh, this might happen or that might happen. Like, I don't talk a lot about it today until it's actually happening, because you never know, right? And so, but I can remember hearing that, and I thought, well, this is like really powerful, that she's like, you know, saying, okay, whatever you have in front of me, like, I will take that. That's like what I'm going to go with, right? And she started singing the gospel song, which is like one of my favorite songs of life. I just looked at my phone because I have it in my iTunes, and it's the song, you know, I Surrender All. I love that song so much. A little unknown fact about Peter, that is, if you ask my friend Tanya what's something you don't know about Peter, what she'll say to you is Peter loves gospel music, and I do. And there's so much gospel music that I really, really like, and there's just something about it for me, and I don't know that it's necessarily feeling God. I think it's just feeling the Spirit move within inside of me. And I don't even know that you necessarily have to be a religious or a spiritual person, because I'm not a religious person, to really enjoy gospel music. There's just something about it to me that, whether it's fast and dancey or whether it's slow and moving, it's just something that's so like soul moving to me about gospel music. I love it. So anyway, she starts singing the song, I Surrender All, you know, and I think it's I Surrender Thee, I Surrender All, or something like that. But anyway, her assistant comes in the room and says, Steven Spielberg's on the phone for you. She takes the call. This is right after she's, you know, surrendered this all up to God. I'm such a believer in surrender. You know, we talk about surrender and recovery and the third step prayer, you know, and all of that. And actually, when my mom, well, this is a whole other story, but when my mom was in the hospital and I had my friend hold her hand and say the third step prayer for her, and that was when my mom flatlined. I don't know what happened in that moment, but I like to think that my mom was able just to let go of everything at that moment, you know? Because it was literally during my friend reading, my friend was reading the third step prayer, or saying the third step prayer out loud. I said, can you say the serenity prayer? And she said, yeah. And then as she took my mom's hand, I said, actually, will you say the third step prayer to her? And so she said the third step prayer out loud, which is about surrender from the bondages of self. And as she read it, holding my mom's hand tightly, like one tear like dripped down her face onto my mom's hand. And then my mom flatlined and passed away. It was a really powerful moment. And my friend Liz, she read the third step prayer at my mom's funeral. And what's interesting was the night after my mom passed, or the night that my mom passed away, I came back to the condo here where she was living. And underneath her bed, she had her Bible and she had her basic text. And I opened her basic text, which my mom had underlined and dog-eared and all this kind of stuff. But there was only one part of it that was highlighted. And the one part that was highlighted was the third step prayer. It was just like this miracle to me. But anyway, so Oprah's assistant comes into the room and says, you know, Steven Spielberg's on the phone for you. And so she takes the call, and Steven Spielberg said to her, I heard that you're at a weight loss camp. If you lose 1 pound, the job is not yours. So she talks about how she like drove home and she stopped at Dairy Queen on the way home and got a Blizzard and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, I think that is the power of letting go. And even if she hadn't got the job or got the role of Miss Sophia in The Color Purple, the power of letting go is realizing that you really have no power over anything anyway, you know? You can try to force things and control things all you want, but you really don't have any power over things. And so for me, it's not even about letting go. It's about a reminder that I don't have any control, you know? Letting go is a reminder of putting into action that I don't have really any more control than I would love to have over the situation. But I just don't, you know? So it's a great meditation and a great reminder for me. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.